Hi, this is Dr. Martina, your sexuality expert, and I have notes today because I just can't focus today, and the topic is pornography, which of course is huge, and I could be talking about it for hours, and it would go on and on and on, just like as I'm doing now. So that's why the notes, I'm going to stick to my notes. So please forgive me for reading, but it will make it more interesting this way. A friend of mine brought an article to me from the New York Times, November 20th, 2019, about the growing world of audio pornography. There are platforms like Quinn or Dipsy, and the founders of these platforms are women, and they think that audio porn leaves more room for subjectivity and for imagination, and conveniently can be listened to everywhere. That's what they say. They also say that audio porn can increase focus, and focus will bring more pleasure. Maybe I need to listen to some audio porn so I can focus. So, I had to think about this for like 4 days to come up with something that makes sense to me and in my heart and my knowledge as a sexologist. First of all, why do we watch porn in the first place? Because we're sexual beings, and pornography offers a venue where we can see beings having sex. That is a very simple explanation about why we watch porn. We watch porn because it turns us on, it arouses us, and it feeds our sexual fantasies with scenarios that we couldn't or wouldn't do in reality. Pornography has been around for hundreds of years, with a higher presence in times of sexual suppression. Who watches porn? They say, a new study says 72% is men and 28% are women. My guess is that the numbers of the women is probably too low, because from my knowledge and my experience, there's more women watching porn than 28%, but because it still has a stigma that porn watching is a bad thing, I'm pretty sure women lie about it. Now, who enjoys watching porn? Now, this is a whole different thing. Men or women or both. Some studies talk about sex similarities. Other studies show gender differences in sexual arousal while they're watching porn. The sex-positive feminist in me, not obviously, but she wants to have similarities. She wants to be able, I want to be able to say that men and women are having sex on the same level of joy and lust and pleasure. Now, the clinical sexologist in me is aware, through my experiences over the last 20 years, that men in general, of course, men in general have their sexual arousal and sexual desire are intertwined, whereas with women there is a distinct disconnect between sexual arousal and sexual desire. That doesn't mean we can't experience both, but it means that sexual arousal doesn't mean automatically sexual desire as it does with the men. Now, we have an interesting study that I came across that they observed that when a man watches porn, his initial and controlled attention goes directly and quickly to the sexual cues and towards the preferred gender. Hetero men go directly to the women and their genitals. Gay men go directly to the men and their genitals. Now, when a woman watches porn, they have observed that she has the same quick attention, but she distributes her attention to non-sexual cues, like the background. I am guilty of that myself. I've experienced that myself just last week. I watched some porn as I was masturbating, or as I wanted to masturbate, because as soon as I start watching porn, I saw the woman kneeling on a cement floor with a very thin, all it is, they put down just a sheet for her, and she was getting penetrated in doggy style with her knees on the cement floor. And I imagine how those knees must hurt by now. Now, if you're a woman and if you watch porn, then you know what I'm talking about. These are all non-sexual cues. So that, of course, would result in a weakened genital response pattern. Because if you focus on the background, you can't really focus what's going on in your body. Then I came across a study where they used a device that measures genital arousal on the subjects that were watching porn. And there's an interesting thing they found out is that heterosexual men were aroused by footage of men and women having sex. That's not the interesting part. That's pretty much self-explanatory why that happened. Gay men reacted to two men having sex. Women, on the other hand, regardless of sexual orientation, responded to everything. So what these studies show is that even so we focus on non-sexual cues in the pornography that we're watching, that doesn't mean we're not responding, that our body is not responding. That doesn't mean we don't get aroused. But it does mean that we may not do anything with that arousal. We may not catch up with the sexual desire of that. Back to that study of where the women were actually responding to everything that they were being shown, or their bodies were responding. The responses were for these sexual images from the women were fast and they were automatic. But what also happened is a lot of these women were not aware of their arousal until the people who were doing the study were showing their proof on the machine that the body had to respond to it. Now that fact that the women are not aware of their arousal proves that there can be an emotional, psychological influences, cultural inhibitions, that those are the reasons that disconnect happened between sexual arousal and sexual desire. It does not have to be biological. Your sexual experience is shaped by your history, by your interest, and where your attention goes. So if you think that audio pornography is something that will actually help you focus on your sexual arousal and help you make a connection with your sexual desire, then give it a try. Try it. I checked it out. There's quite a lot of options that you can tap into on these platforms. Give it a try. Let me know what you find out and have fun. See you later. Bye.